Zion Williamson was the most hyped prospect since LeBron. Honestly, they say that about a lot of people, but still, Zion was electric in high school and college. He maybe even had the greatest high school mixtape of all time. He was and still is a 6'6" athletic freak with a bunch of muscle. He was so hyped up in the NBA that he was actually on the cover of 2K and made the all-rookie team despite playing only 24 games. His 45-inch vert at his weight is unheard of. He has all the tools to very well be the next best NBA player, but for multiple reasons, he just hasn't. In fact, in his 4 years with the Pelicans, he hasn't even played a single postseason game yet, despite his team making it to the playoffs. So I have to ask, what's up with Zion Williamson, and why is he currently not living up to his expectations? Prior to the NBA, Zion never really faced any big-time injuries. The biggest injury he had before the NBA was probably when his shoes infamously exploded during a game in college, but even that kept him out for only 3 weeks. In the NBA though, he had some bad luck. In 2019, Zion's rookie season, when I tell you everyone was looking forward to Zion's debut, I'm not exaggerating. Zion's debut game was insanely hyped up, but in just the preseason of his rookie year, he tore his meniscus and will be out for 44 games. And at the end of that same year, he was out with another knee injury. He only played 24 games his rookie year, but despite this, he still got on the all-rookie team that year and he was on the cover of 2K21. It really just shows you how much people believed in Zion and how big his hype was. The 2020 to 2021 season was his best in terms of health, playing 61 of the 72 games. But after this, it all just went way downhill. In the offseason before the 2021 to 2022 season, Zion fractured his foot and was out for the entire season. And what sucks about this is that in that same season, the Pelicans actually made it to the playoffs where they faced the Suns that year and got eliminated. Zion saw his team struggle in the playoffs and all he could do is just watch. And I think y'all can guess what happened in the next season. Zion got injured again and only played 29 games. But why does Zion get injured so much? Is he just injury prone? Or is it a direct result of how he treats his body? If you're not a Pelicans fan, or if you're just not in tune with Zion, you most likely only hear about him when he's getting clowned on for his weight. I'm not kidding. There are so many posts about Zion's weight, it's crazy.
The word out on Zion Williamson is that he'll eat the table.
But how true is it? In high school and college, Zion was always pretty lean. He always had an amazing physique with a good amount of muscle. But when he got to the league, his weight just went all over the place. There were many times where he was more than 300 pounds. And it recently came out that the Pelican staff has repeatedly told Zion to work on his weight and conditioning, but they say he just doesn't listen. And you can see the difference in game. If you saw the recent game versus the Lakers in the in-season tournament where the Pelicans got blown out, Zion was barely trying. He barely played defense, if he can call it that. He never really tried to rebound the ball, and you never saw him hustle or sprint. Zion is averaging 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists, and yet it feels like he could be doing way more. Zion's talent alone will make him a pretty good player, but without that hard work and dedication, he'll never reach that face of NBA status that he was supposed to live up to. It really seems like Zion doesn't have that sense of urgency, like Shannon Sharp put it.
He loves the game, but it's the things that you do prior to the game.
Right.
His conditioning, his eating habits.
I'm pretty sure Zion knows what he has to do, but he just doesn't do it. In high school and college, Zion was used to just dominating everyone because he was just so much bigger and athletic than everyone else. The thing is, he's still bigger and more athletic than a large part of NBA players and could still be dominating. This in-season tournament blowout was the biggest loss that Zion has faced in the NBA up to now, and you already know all the fat jokes and comments came pouring in.
He's fat!
Many sources said that it was just this offseason that Zion finally prioritized his diet and health, and he was actually looking pretty good. But as the year went on, he slowly lost all that progress. His conditioning is so bad that the Pelicans don't play him in back-to-back games this season because his body physically can't handle it. Even Zion himself acknowledges how much he struggles with his bad habits.
There are times when I will say that, man, that shit hard. It's hard, man. Like, you 20, 22, got a lot of money. It feel like all the money in the world, man. It is hard.
The point is, Zion is really struggling with staying healthy. It's a mental battle. I don't really know what to say except no one but Zion is going to make the right choices for him. Hopefully this loss versus the Lakers served as a bit of a wake-up call for Zion. Okay, now that I'm done criticizing Zion, I want to talk more positively. Zion is no doubt one of the most talented and athletic players in the NBA. That will always be with him. He's still only 23 years old and has a lot of time to work with. He has a team that is willing to build around him, and he has a city that supports him and adores him. Zion is a really talented, funny, and charismatic guy, and has all the things to be the face of the NBA. All that is left for him is to lock in. I know I was criticizing Zion, but as a Pelicans fan, I want to see him prosper. Just as I was recording this video, Zion had his best game of the season against the Timberwolves, dropping 36 points, who by the way have a really good defense. We can only hope that this is a turning point for Zion and his career.
I've said it over the years. You know, Drew Brees and a bunch of other New Orleans guys that were here before me said the same thing. If you love the city, which I very much do, it'll love you back. So to the city, to the fans, thank you. I'm going to do my best not to let y'all down.